So I have all the parts coming in from my rotary swap Subaru, and while I'm waiting, I need to have something to keep me busy in the meantime. So I made a deal with one of my friends. I took over his car builds, and the car is mechanically completely stock except for some suspension pieces and the wheels and tires and brakes and stuff. Other than that, it's something really special. That's what it is. It's a shaggin' wagon. No, it's a E30 wagon BMW. I don't know what year it is. I think it's a 93. The thing's actually sick, and I've been a part of this car for quite a while now without even having recorded any part of it. These wheels, the Koenig wheels, if you notice, Koenig helped me out with the wheels on my Evo. It's because these wheels were actually behind my setup on my Sim. So these are 15x8 squared front and rear. It also has a full AP Racing big brake setup on the front, along with some Continental Extreme Contact Force tires. This car's not playing around. The cool thing about this is that it's still an E30, so the hood, it comes up the same way. That's actually the most craziest pop-up I think I've seen. You pull it up, hood opens forwards. This thing's a Viper. This thing has the M40 B16 engine inside of it. This is a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder inside of this, all original. It actually just had the head fully refreshed with every single part, which makes it cool because now you can do a lot of things to it, like you know, bounce it off the would-be limiter, because this thing has a Bosch Motronic, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong with that, because I'm not an old BMW guy. I've actually only had one older BMW, and it was the 2002, which I never actually showed you guys, but I got around the same time as my Audi Quattro, which I don't think I showed you guys as well. I'm really bad at this. But of course, the party piece of this thing is the back half. So E30 wagons actually never came to the States. They're only sold overseas, and this is no exception. So this thing came from overseas somewhere. So the dash is in miles right now, and it's left-hand drive. That's all the details that I was interested in. I wasn't interested in anything else because this thing is cool. So the cool thing about an E30 wagon, dynamically, number one, you can fit everyone inside of this thing. You can bring this thing to the party and you could take everyone as long as you have the seats folded down. But this thing is actually slightly longer than a regular E30. So that means that when you're like trying to get the car to move around and rotate a lot, it's a lot more stable because it's longer. I think the wheelbase might be the same. I haven't done enough research on the wheelbase, but the length of the body itself, because of where the weight's placed, it should drive pretty well, which it does. And this thing ultimately makes like all of 80 horsepower or so to the wheels. To the wheels. It might make like 100 to the crank. But what that means is that this thing has a lot of potential because it has a very small engine. So like I like to say with everything in all my builds, I have a lot of parts for this thing. Actually, inside of my Touareg right there, I have a full build list for this thing that you'll see in the next video that you see with this thing. And if you can't place where I'm at right now, not drifting things, because I can't do that yet. Although like this thing is very sticky tires and no power. So like you kick the clutch, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna do a perfect launch every time because like no power. But the plan is to go and see how well this thing can do some lap times around this place, and we're gonna set up a little course and we're gonna make sure that it is a fully scientific experiment, because we got to make sure that the numbers that we get before and after we do the upgrades are accurate. So like I said, from the baseline, this thing has BC coilovers, this thing has Continental tires, Koenig wheels that are really light, big brake package in front, has a lot of M3 suspension bushings and stuff. It's also a wagon, if I didn't mention that before. It's still a wagon. So we're gonna try and drive this thing and we're gonna see exactly what it does, and then we're gonna do some upgrades and then come back and see what it does. Should be a fun time.